Don't you just love the Scandinavian autumn weather? I do. It's lovely. Lovely, grey and cold. Welcome to Copenhagen. I have taken the S train to go see my family for a family brunch that we've been trying to do every month. Well, half of my family, my mother's side. Yeah, it's become a little bit of a... Since I moved closer to the capital, that's become a really lovely tradition. Like, I've talked about it before, I think, but I used to live really quite far away, like basically on the other side of the country from most of my family. I went to university real far away. And so I for like 10, 15 years almost, I basically only really saw my family when, like, my dad would sometimes come up because he had business near the town where I lived, and I'd see him. But other than that, it was like Christmas and birthdays and like the occasional holiday, maybe during the summer vacation. But that was kind of it. Never really saw my family otherwise. And I missed a lot of things. I missed a lot of my nephew's early life, which I've just like, at the time, because like when I was younger, I was kind of desperate to get away a little bit. I wanted to sort of get away from my family a little bit and sort of like, I don't know, be my own person, I think. It's not because I had any kind of a strained relationship with them at all, quite the opposite, in fact, but just, I think I had some kind of need to go and find myself, as it were, to be a little oppositional. And that worked fine for me, for a while. Is this a street I need to go? No, I need to go to the other side of the lake. Okay. That worked okay for me. Like, I think it was healthy for me ultimately to have to be very independent and be out by myself. But in later years, like, I started to feel just how much I missed. Like, just how much I didn't really get to be a part of my nephew's life, but also like my brother's life and my sister's life. Because they were all over here, you know, in the capital. Boy, windy. They were all over here, and they all sort of established and developed relationships. Like, they were part of each other's lives in a much more intimate way, and I just kind of wasn't. And I regret it now. Like, I kind of regret that I wasn't there more, to become more part of these lives. And now that I've moved here, like, obviously these, like, monthly brunches help. And, like, I invited them out for dinner, like, a couple of weeks ago, and that was really nice. And, like, we can see each other more. It's just, still feel outside a little bit. Which is also down to my personal neuroses. Like, I've always had trouble feeling wanted. I find it very difficult to feel wanted. Like, if I'm not doing something actively contributing somehow to something or other, I don't feel like I'm wanted if I'm just there, you know? Which is some kind of psychological problem that I probably should deal with at some point, but yeah. But it's nice to get to connect, to be more around. And I've been thinking about ways to do more of it, like to see them more, to invite them over for more things. Like, without needing to justify myself, you know? Without needing, like, oh, not because I have to contribute something, but just because, like, hey, we can spend some time together, kind of thing. Which, it's difficult. But it's worth it. But it's difficult. But it's worth it. But it's difficult. You know, that old song and dance. Anyway, professionally, I have a deadline for a video that I'm just barely halfway through writing. And it needs to be done on the 30th. So that's freaking me out a little bit. I have plenty of time. The goddamn script for it just would not come together at all. It was originally originally I wanted to do What's the Deal with Renata Glask on the 30th here, now. And that fell through. Because I just, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get a hook into writing about her. Like, I couldn't really find out what to say about her. Like, not that I don't have anything to say about it, just that, like, finding a way to put it together, formulate it, you know, was tough. So, need to figure that out. So that pushed that one to next month, maybe around the halfway point of next month or something. And instead I'm writing a different one about God of War, which is a thing like that sort of just popped into my head unbidden. Like, I have the problem that every time I go out on a walk, every time I go outside, basically, ideas for videos and thoughts, like, start swarming into my head, like, absolutely massive, crowding me, and merging into each other and folding out of each other. And I have so many good thoughts, but I have no way to record them because I can't take notes. Like, I can't, like, the way that my brain works, I can't take notes on it. I need to either sit down and write the whole goddamn thing, or remember it. Like, just remember the impulse and try and find it again when I'm home, which is difficult. And this God of War video is definitely one of those, because I had, like, a sort of an impulse of what I wanted to do with it when I was out for a walk. I think I was going for groceries. I had an impulse of what I wanted to do with it. It's like, okay, this is the hook, this is the thing. This is the thing that it's going to be about. And then by the time I got to the grocery store, it was a completely different thing. Like, it had morphed, like, twice into two completely different things about God of War. That sort of, they were related, but they weren't connected, you know? They weren't, like, it wasn't stuff that I could merge into one video. And so then, by the time I got home, I had, like, 6 ideas for this video about, like, exactly what I wanted this to be. And then when I sat down to write it, as I started trying to put the script together, it became a 7th thing, completely separate from those other ideas. That's a little bit, that always makes me kind of sad, because I had some good ideas that I'm like, wait, but I wanted those to get those into a video, but they don't work with the thing that I actually want to make. And the easy solution to that, of course, is to make more videos, like make more videos on the same subject. But number one, I kind of can't for algorithm reasons, because as I've talked about before, the YouTube algorithm, if you don't stick to a subject, you get punished. So I can do a non-League of Legends video every once in a while, that's fine. But if I do it too many times in a row, the algorithm goes, oh, you're not a League of Legends YouTuber anymore. Okay, let's not show your videos to the League of Legends audience then, which is most of my audience. And then the video tanks, you know. So I can't do multiple God of War videos, not in a stretch anyway. I need to space them out with League content if I do that. And if I do that, that means I won't be able to get back to doing the Many Meanings of Bloodborne video, my fucking albatross. And it means I won't be able to do, like, Elden Ring videos, because I need to balance that shit out all between the various algorithms and the impulses and the things, and meh. It's very annoying, is what I'm trying to get at. And I only, like, in terms of the way that I budget my videos, I only get the one right now. Like, if I want to be efficient, if I want to keep the algorithm happy. And I say this as though I'm an expert. This is all, none of this is, like, hard knowledge about how the algorithm works. It's just vibes that I've picked up over time from seeing how videos perform in between each other and sort of trying to pick up patterns. And of course the algorithm is changing all the time, so who in the fuck knows, frankly. But this is like the best information that I have. By the way, the lakes, these are not deep lakes at all, but there's like a stretch of them that runs through Copenhagen, and they're lovely, like full of ducks and people feeding them. Ducks and other birds that I can't identify. Swans. And they're lovely. Like, lots of people go for runs around here. Bicycles. People walk their dogs. I like Copenhagen. I'm glad I moved close enough that I can actually enjoy it. But yeah, so There's a God of War video on the way. Hopefully it'll be there by the end of the month. It fucking needs to, or otherwise the sponsor is going to get cranky. So that is stressing me out a little bit because I feel behind on it, which means I'm going out to do this lovely thing with my family, and I feel guilty about that because, like, no, I have the video. I need to work on the video. How can you spend time frivolously when you have all this work that you need to do? Which is a thing that I blogged about over on my Tumblr recently, actually, is that I am a bit of a workaholic, and I've been realizing that more and more. That I really kind of do have an addiction to work, and an addiction to stress. Like, I have an addiction to the stress of work because the relief of getting work done, the relief of finishing work, is like a huge catharsis for me. And like, that's sort of, for a very long time, that was the main catharsis that I had. It was like the main, is the main relief that I got from stress was to finish work. And then you get the paycheck and then, like, okay, whew, things are good, things are okay now. And so when I'm stressed, or when I am depressed, or when I'm anything, like when I'm having any kind of difficult emotional situation, the only response that I know emotionally is to work. Like, is to, okay, I'll fucking do a work project then. I'll throw myself into something big and complicated, and then count on the relief of finishing that work to sort of help ground me and make me feel better. And, you know, that's a problem in and of itself. But the bigger problem is that it works. It works. It does make me feel that. Like, it does ground me. It does help me. It is therapeutic to do work. And so quitting that habit and giving myself a little bit more space is, yeah, I don't really know how to do that. I don't know. I might need to seek some therapy about that or something. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk about right now. Yeah. It's windy and cold. I'm gonna go find the restaurant that I need to go to. I hope I didn't go the wrong direction. If it's on the other side of the lake, I'm gonna be pissed.